Forces they don't understand. The fact that there's war coming, all these things, they don't even know what they're doing. And yet, they're already playing the game.
That's what it's all about.
That our tools were small enough and around long enough that we could actually play with them and experiment with them and get to know them and learn to think outside the box. Is that everybody there was thinking outside the box because we'd all come from outside the box. Everybody talks about thinking outside the box. They go inside the box and tell everybody in there that they should learn to think outside the box. If you really want people to think outside the box, go find people who are from outside the box, because those people can't think anywhere but outside the box. That's where we were, all of us to one extent or another in those days. It's not where we are now.
There's a reality that you and Paul touch on when it comes to like people getting what they need versus what they want, that you and Paul kind of see pretty clearly, and I'm trying to learn how to see that way too.
Oh, that's my faith in the arenic nature of the agency.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
Hello. I see the assassins have failed, and we may have a whole new batch coming after us after this one. However, we do have a +4 to Neutrino, a +2 to Luigi, a +2 to. Well, how did that happen, Rascal? Are you a lip reader? Oh, but Lenny got a +2. Lenny got a +2. Well done, President Foxman. That wasn't even the hard question. If you've never been here before, we do savings throws against mind control, because even if you just count the commercials, you're swimming in it, and we do also do some here. You get to pick between survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Those are the choices. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw. I roll the dice. If it's over 10, you take half damage. If it's under 10, you take full damage. But remember, Embody, we want what's best for you. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Survival is coming in with the regular dozen. Not the baker's one. Socialist, unfortunately, only a 3. I'm sorry, Slack. Maybe that's why. Only a 3. Maybe that's why you had to go. Lovers of wisdom, guess what? You get a +3 to next stream savings throw. That's a nat 20 for you. And that's going to be interesting, too. Heart folks, with a 19, prime 19 for you, you're going to be doing great. And Indigo kids, that's a 10. You don't get to see the die. Welcome, everybody. We have a lot of what you call it? Walkers in the Redbook on what is this stream called? Like a psychopomp. Well, that's because Phoebus has started to play. He isn't on the Discord, so he DM'd me the clip on Twitter, and it inspired this entire stream. Because if Paul Vanderklay can stretch a 4 minutes of Peterson video into an hour and a half, at least I should be able to stretch it into the time I do a stream for. Let's start off with a card for the show, and I think the most appropriate one is going to be the agency deck. So I'm shuffling that now. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be, I don't know, a show.
The chase is on. Excitement is at a whole new level when the puppets start chasing you. Stay on your toes, because if they catch you, you might just become one of them forever. Frozen in puppet glory, living an eternal life of strings and wooden whimsy. It's a transformation like no other, but don't let that frighten you. It's all in the spirit of fun.
Oh my word. Why does this feel so poignant at this moment? Oh gosh. I love the fact that they've put this all framed around somebody watching TV. Can make your brain go dead. That's why you should watch more YouTube. Edutainment, that's the way to go.
Agency deck card of the show, Ace of Clubs for this one, and that is definitely the creepiest branding Chad has ever made. Even more creepy than this one. Remember it.
This agency. We walk past. Remember it. This agency. We walk past.
Wow, I almost gave you the full dose of that. I'm so sorry, but most of you made your savings throws. Here's a shanty to wash it away.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
If I say I know Grimgis to PVK, will he let me on his famous show? I think at this point you might want to say, not only do I know Grim Gris, but I know what savings throws are. Welcome, everybody. Let's get to, I like to deliver on the title and the thumbnail. The thumbnail delivery will come later, like a psychopomp. But the first one of the parts of the title is Walkers, and that is a reference, of course, to both my and Rick Walker's appearance on Pastor Paul's live stream rando conversation, which he has now retitled from special guest live stream rando to text. Put it on the screen. Put it on the screen. Texas Christian businessman Rick Walker shakes up the corner with his randos reveal. And here I have a very, very important clip from it, where, well, you'll see. Everybody who has participated in this stream needs a savings throw versus mind control. Everybody who watches me should knows how those work. So, choose, Rick.
So I guess mind control.
I'm doing everybody who has participated. What? Did you hear that right? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, his first choice was mind control. Now, I decided this morning to tune in over at Grail Country and see what they were talking about with their meditations on the Divine Comedy Inferno, Canto 10. But by the time I had showed up, they were already discussing the shakeup, as mentioned in Pastor Paul's title. And, well, let's see how I started. I started from the comment section, but let's listen to them for just a minute.
Listen, that weird random guy that Paul had on yesterday, who was just like pretty much a representation of like everything I'm not. like as unnate like as it could possibly be. He still said one thing in that conversation that I'm like, yes, there's a lot of people who need to hear that. He gets that. He talked about like the Holy Spirit, like he was trying to figure out what he should do, and he said the Holy Spirit said to him, it's like, how about he said, you're not supposed to do something, you're supposed to become something. And that right there, I think is exactly right. And that's why we're supposed to be helping each other through this process. And if we're too busy doing, going, which clearly this is a guy who's prone to do, like this is a person who's prone to be that, right? And I know, like glass house here. I'm a very, very do, go guy. And
I'm a very do, go. I'm sorry.
So I get it, but it's not our highest calling. It isn't. And we miss out on a lot of important things in life.
Martha.
Yeah. Yes. My mind was going to the exact same place as I was speaking. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
To all the denizens on the Discord, I have no idea what they mean by Martha. So if you could bring the clip for that and put it in the scavenger bounty board, we'll reward you with the 7 indigo bonus to your next saves.
Who are each becoming in that moment? Martha and Mary.
Yeah. Well, we need both is the bottom line, but we need, there needs to be more of an appreciation of both roles. So yeah,
I think our culture is definitely a Martha culture. You know, there's probably our cultures that are much more, let's just sit.
Now, if you can't see it, there, Grail Country has highlighted my comment. The Holy Spirit speaking clear English to anyone else here? And eventually he invites me on the stream and we talk about this whole guy. It's the last 40 minutes or so of that stream. Here's a sample of that discussion before we ran Sherry off.
I often say things like, you can't really judge. You have to, you can't, like I was just thinking while you were talking about reaction, right? People have reactions, or they make reaction videos, or they respond to something that just came out and then they react to it, or they get on Twitter, which is all it is a reactionary arena, right? And the thing with reaction is it is fight or flight. Like those are our reactions. Those are our base reactions, are to fight or to bugger off, right? So we need to practice a lot more patience, in my opinion.
I personally was way more invested than anybody else in the situation.
Right, because the guy got onto the channel by using your...
He came on Grail Country and said I wasn't going to talk to this guy, but he name dropped Grim Grizz, so I decided to let him. And if you were there for the Texas Christian Businessman Shakes Up the List of the Corner stream, you will remember that we asked him the question, how do you know Grim Grizz, before I popped on and did those savings throws. And he has since done the courtesy of finding at least the one Twitter interaction we had, which, I haven't brought it up yet. Here we go. And then make it big, and then here we go. He trolls me on Twitter saying, no, share this tab instead. Grim Grizz, great TP. Great TP. Finally get a chance to speak with you yesterday on Paul Vanderklay's show. I'll be more prepared for the dice question next time. Heard Verveki was also stumped. He wasn't stumped. He chose wisdom, but I explained it to him at the front. Be blessed. I have been. And our previous interaction on Twitter was on December 11th, where I said, I always got stuck on that shall not want bit, but today I chewed on restoreth my soul, and his witty reply was, I've been stuck on thee for 40 years and still unable to understand. I was unable to understand, but I did offer that it's this his preferred pronoun as a response. And so that was the Twitter interaction we had, and he was not lying about it. There was at least one. Now, if you know or are a due dilettante, you might be able to understand that you can click through and poke around the internet and find stuff on people. And I recall the reason I followed him on Twitter was because when he followed me, I looked at his bio and it said he worked for Strategic Capital. And the word capital in the name was exciting to me as a grifter. So I did the follow back thing. And so if you're that type of due dilettantery person, you might look up someone's website of Strategic Capital. And let me just highlight for you real quick. The thing that jumps out most about that to me is Strategic Capital is a Texas-based investment firm that focuses on opportunistic and value-add real estate transactions. Opportunistic. It's right after my own heart. And we do have one more due dilettantery a piece that I'm going to bring up, but I'm sure everybody's ready for a piece of branding now, right? Let's do this one.
Love is worth saving.
I don't know love. Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
Survival is a nice bottom line. That which promotes survival is good. There's a problem in there too, though, because survival of what? Maybe the survival of human beings is to bind us with machines. Well, is that us? Well, what is us? What is a human being? We're going to get to that in a minute. Remember, survival is supposedly the bottom line. But survival exactly of what? And see, I would argue the Greeks said, well, eternal life is the story going forward.
Now, for full disclosure, I didn't do any of this dilettantery myself. However, the one that was provided to me was that he's also connected to this Lumicry company, and I don't want to get started yet, company. But if you go to what is it, the About Us section, the about it, you can see here. Wait, no, wait. There it is. He's one of the faces of Lumicry. There he is, right there. He's an asset director. Isn't that fascinating? What else can we learn about this Lumicry place? Well, let's see. If we scroll down a little bit here, it's all right. We exist to bring uncommonly expedited solutions to institutional investment challenges with our fractional liquidity solution. And boy, howdy, doesn't fractional liquidity remind you of fractional reserve banking and how wonderful that's been for everybody? But wait, there's more. Where's the button? There it is. Government services. Let's look there. Let's look in the government services, where it says navigating the complex world of federal regulations. We've earned our reputation as your go-to advisors for governmental engagements, partnering with esteemed organizations like the Department of Veterans Affairs, the DoD, and the Air Force. Wow. Oh, let's do a red curtain chart of the show, shall we? Oh, do you have real estate investments, but you'd like them some more liquid so you could spend the money? Well, we'll just take a fraction. And the red card of the show is this one, the Jack of Diamonds. So that's all fascinating stuff, but after having reviewed the due dilettantery with which I was provided, I decided that the proper response, wait, share this tab instead, to this wonderful tweet where he brought up where we had interacted before, I decided that the proper response would be, it was fun. If the DoD will let you keep talking to me, we should talk paintball for Jesus. Hey, Lunch, good to see you. Everybody loves the song at the front. Yes, you gotta keep going so we could take fractions. And it wasn't time for a soda yet earlier, Lenny, but we can have one now as we finished the Walker portion of the show. So let's cast some magic missiles at the darkness, shall we?
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
Now, what the heck is that, Rakal? What's going on there? Phoebus asks a very important question, or makes a very important statement. I want to know which transnational supercorp is integrating the estuary protocol, which I believe is still couched within a members-only video on Pastor Paul Vanderklay's channel, so I'm not really going to dive into that question and play that clip yet, where where there's a clear and definitive wedge placed between this little corner and the estuary protocol. But it might be out. It might be out. Oh, it's public now. See, they never tell us when it switches. But we're not covering that tonight. Thanks for letting me know, Neutrino. I couldn't tell. The Blue Church card of the show is going to be the following. And then we're getting to the first, at least as far as I know, reaped clip that Phoebus has sent us, and the rest of the delivery on the red booking and walkers and like a psychopomp of the stream. And here then, therefore, is the Blue Church card of the show, the eight of diamonds. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. All right, but before we do Phoebus's thing, I first, and I need to do one of these. Where is it? God bless it. There's so many. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
And now, as provided by the wonderful Phoebus, I'm actually gonna dive. Stop it! Share this wonderful clip from Dr. Jordan Peterson and John Vervaeke discussing the meaning crisis, episode 414. 414.
Thing in this, like I said, this is difficult for me to talk about, but I did talk about it already publicly and after Socrates, and I trust.
Hell of a thing for an introvert to do.
Yes. So I was in the middle of one of these sessions, and an archetypal presence came in and pushed aside all the parts and said, "No, you're going to listen to me." And who are you? I said, "I'm Hermes."
Oh yeah,
the god.
Hermes, you say? Let's see what a quick Google search of that, or a quick search of that shows us. Way over here, it says it's not pretty, but it says an Olympian god in Greek religion and mythology, the emissary and messenger of the gods, the god of trade, heraldry, merchants, commerce, roads, thieves, trickery, sports, travelers, and athletes. That guy is busy. That's a busy fella there.
God of interpretation, the god of meaning making.
Did he have little winged slippers on him?
Well, no, he
messenger of the gods.
He appeared. He very much had a presence of a psychopomp.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Franco, we missed it. I'm sorry. You say you mentioned it after the Socrates bit, but I missed your mention. My apologies.
And
when you mean it, when you say appeared, what was the phenomenology? What was happening?
The phenomenology is like the phenomenology of the presence of a mind. Like I have a mind sight into your awareness. Now, what's interesting about these things, and this is again my take.
I'm sorry, Rick. Your appearance in the chat distracted me. Everything about you is in the front half. Hello and welcome.
Of a mind, like I have a mind sight into your awareness. Now, what's interesting about these things, and this is again the presence of a mind, like and
when you mean it, when you say appeared, what was the phenomenology? What was happening?
The phenomenology is like the phenomenology of the presence of a mind, like I have a mind sight into your awareness. Now, what's interesting about these things, and this is again my take, not the IFS people, although I've talked to Mark Lewis at length about this, and he thinks it's a good take. I think of these entities as neither subjective nor objective. I think of them transjective. And I think
Yeah,
Hermes
right.
is in the domain of relevance, and relevance is neither objective nor subjective, but what binds them together. Right?
Yeah,
And he's binding the inner and the outer, the upper and the lower, and all of that together. And so it's the sense of a presence, but it's like what Charles Stang talks about, the divine double. It's both you and not you, kind of like the way conscience is, but it has
right.
I mean, and so I have an ongoing dialogue with Hermes. It's very much.
Is this a presence that you visualize? How do you know of its appearance?
I've had only one sort of vision.
What was the vision like?
The vision was very much, well, the vision was very much what I later, very much like sort of Michael, the archangel, which was very interesting. And then I've had one.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he said it looked like a psychopomp in the part I already tried to play 3 times and didn't take it back far enough. But that explains the thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen. That explains the thumbnail.
Of sort of Thoth from Egypt and...
What? Why are all these gods appearing in your mind?
And Hanuman from the Vedic tradition, as well as Hermes from the Greek tradition. And they in the ancient literature, they're often seen as corresponding to each other in some fashion. You understand, I'm treading on this very...
Okay, so what was the consequence of the appearance of this superordinate spirit, arguably superordinate spirit, in the presence of this domain of chaos?
Well, it made it very clear to me that it... I don't want to say it anymore. He wanted to make it very clear that there was a dialogical relationship that needed to be developed and cultivated. And it would be a relationship by which I would cultivate something analogous to Socrates' daemonium. That was the promise that was given.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Oh, is it? Is it? Is that a good deal? Did you contract with an entity known as Hermes? And why hasn't Jesus appeared to you if all these other gods are? Is that disturbing to anybody?
I think so.
Well, it's dangerous, but so is everything else.
Yeah, excellent things are rare, or we wouldn't pursue them, as Spinoza said. Or we would all pursue them, as Spinoza said. So I found Raf's work on ally work, and I've talked to a bunch of people that have, the kind of practices you can do to enter into this. Anderson Todd, a friend of mine, very helpful around this. And so what became very apparent was that that this daemonium and the way I've internalized Socrates as a sage were very allied to each other, because Socrates also portrayed himself as being metaxu, being between the human and the divine. And then to get to the deep answer to this all started to psychodynamically integrate with the intellectual philosophical realization of the Platonic proposal that human beings are supposed to always hold in tonos, creative tension, Nicholas of Cusa, Heraclitus, our finitude and our transcendence. If we only hold on to our finitude, we fall prey to servitude and despair. If we only hold...
Now, Phoebus says, so everyone glad they did a communing session with John Achino? That was way before this Hermes thing, right? Right?
Hold on to our transcendence, we fall prey to hubris and inflation. But if we can hold the two together, if we are the metaxu between the beast and the god, right, we can properly realize our humanity. And this is what Socrates sees himself. This is how he portrays Eros. This is how he portrays the task of philosophia. And so for me, that Socratic spirit and Hermes as a psychological, dialogical presence have become integrated together. So that's the answer.
Well, that's quite a trip.
Well, I mean,
that's very much like, it's very much the conscious equivalent of a dream.
It's like a dream.
Yeah.
But what's intriguing is the Platonic Socratic possibility of it being filled as much with logos as it is with mythos. That there is also as much, because when I dialogue, I
Yeah.
write out dialogues with Hermes.
Yeah.
It's very much at times it's very much like encountering an archetypal figure, and there's all this.
Have you read the Red Book?
I've read parts of it.
Because it's what you're talking about is quite reminiscent of the sorts of exercises that Jung undertook.
Well,
and there it is, ladles and gentlemen, and the ladies too, delivering on the title of Redbook and Walkers. I gotta find that psychopomp part again. It's just not right that I haven't, and I'm going to now. But that was fascinating, Phoebus, and I'm so glad you brought it to our attention. Let's see if I can did the Control F and the psycho. Yeah, psychop. What? No, we're 51 minutes in. Psychometric. Oh, there's 16 psycho mentions in this one. Hold on. Oh, son of a. There. No. This is why we have branding. This is why we have branding.
To explicate its normativity, what's actually governing and guiding it, and then you
can help it develop that way.
Yes, and you call it, and then you become Socratic with it. You call it to, but how much part are you following the normativity that you're enforcing on me?
Yep.
And what will happen frequently is it will relax and
right, because it's being listened to.
It's being listened to, and it's also realized that there's an opportunity here for growth.
Yeah.
Of course, this overlaps with a lot
so
of.
Jung recommended naming those things.
Oh, you do. You name them. You name them.
Yeah.
But something happened, and you'll probably see a very Jungian thing in this. And like I said, this is difficult for me to talk about, but I did talk about it already publicly and after Socrates. And I trust.
Hell of a thing for an introvert to do.
Yes. So I was in the middle of one of these sessions, and an archetypal presence came in and pushed aside all the parts and said, "No, you're going to listen to me." And who are you? I said, "I'm Hermes."
Oh, yeah.
The god of interpretation, the god of meaning making.
Did he have little winged slippers on in the whole bit?
Well, no, he
messenger of the gods.
He appeared. He very much had a presence of a psychopomp.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when I asked the AI to draw a psychopomp for this thumbnail, that's the image it gave me. I don't know if that's what John saw. And I don't know what all this talking to gods means for the religion that isn't a religion. But hey, I'm glad you're virtually not alone with me. Let's see what the hive mind has to say about this. Ridiculous accretions. And Chad can so shovel snow like no one else. Okay, perhaps an opportunity. Shh. no church trinity arguments for Reiki is channeling spirits. Yes, yes. The CAA has a great DEI policy. They probably invented it. Let's, I think we skipped Thursday this week, so let's head over and check with our good friend Miriam. Miriam, on what psychopomp even means. If Miriam knows. Oh, Miriam knows, but doesn't have anything where I can press and say it. It says, a conductor of souls to the afterworld. Oh dear. Luigi asks a very important question. Is Vervaeke still a non-theist if he met a god? If he met one that said, no, stop it, you're gonna listen to me, pal. Jasmine says, so Vervaeke made a deal with the demons, and that's why he gained his powers. He really is a philosopher, King. Maybe even in this timeline, given enough time. Oh dear indeed. Oh dear. Okay, so that I brought to your attention. I'm not gonna stretch, but since we're visiting with Miriam, we do have to check in with our word of the day, secret messages. Oh, here's one of my favorite words.
Kindred.
It means to say that two people or things are kindred, is to say that they are similar nature or character, or that they have the same ancestry. Oh dear, that's still up. Okay, and then harangue. A harangue is a forceful or angry speech or piece of writing. Axiomatic is a formal
Axiomatic.
is a formal adjective that describes something, usually a statement that is understood as obviously true, such that it is or should be taken for granted.
Whinge.
Is a verb especially used in British English to mean to complain fretfully.
Bunkum.
Is an old-fashioned and informal word that refers to foolish or insincere talk or ideas. Look, don't harangue me. Okay, don't harangue the kindred with your axiomatic bunkum, or we'll whinge.
Whinge.
Is clearly the secret message of the week. I'm too feeling out of touch, but that's always a copyright strike. Let's see if we can avoid that for today. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Red Book and the Walking and the Like a Psychopomp. Let me know what you think in the comments about our good friend John Vervaeke communing with spirits. And as always, special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. This means that the individual psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, what the devil has gotten into you? We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. Dr. Peter Marsh says, I don't get it. Are we mad at Vervaeke? Mad? No. That he's communing with Thoth and Hermes and having a grand old time is nothing to be mad for us about. Everybody takes their own path to where they're going. We are concerned slightly that those are the deities he chooses to commune with. And I agree with Neutrino. If you're set by that bit, you should probably lighten up, or get on with the Inquisition. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for making me and the people in the hive mind feel virtually not alone. But do give us your thoughts on John's communing with spirits, and the government stuff. The government stuff. I'm taking the train on out of here. I'll see you guys next time, hopefully tomorrow morning, if the assassins continue to fail.